welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would go over some unpopular makeup opinions I have. I'm just gonna go over 6 today, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe I will share some more with you at a later date. I do want to put a disclaimer out there that even if I bring up something that you like doing or a product that you like and I'm saying I don't like, it doesn't mean it's a bad product or a bad brand. It's just an unpopular opinion I have. And so obviously it's not gonna be the most favored idea, but it's mine. It's a free world. I'm allowed to do what I wanna do, okay? Okay, let's just dive right in on to So let's dive on into these. The first unpopular makeup opinion I have would be I do not like the Naked 1 and the Naked 2 palette. Especially the Naked 2. I don't know why that got hyped up so much. I feel like it's just a more bland version of the Naked 1. I didn't mind the Naked 1. I think there's a place for it, and I understand why people enjoyed it as a cult product because it was a really neutral palette. I just didn't understand the hype for it to suppress every other nude eyeshadow palette in the industry and to carry on that. Even when they discontinued it, people were like, what? And losing their minds. And I'm like, there's a million nude palettes out on the industry in the makeup world, and you're freaking about this one that's been out for like 20 years now. I just never understood that. I never picked up the Naked 1 or 2 because of that reasoning. I didn't like them, especially the Naked 2. I just thought that was just a whole lot of no. I did pick up the Naked 3 and the Naked Heat. Personally, I just like these color stories a lot better, and I just thought that at the time that they were released, there wasn't a lot of monotone palettes. Now we have like the Huda palettes, and we have ColourPop coming out with all monochromatic palettes, but when these were released, it was kind of a newer trend, so that's why I liked them, and it wasn't just another neutral eyeshadow palette. For my next unpopular opinion, it kind of piggybacks off of that previous one, and it is because it's also one of the Naked palettes, and that is that I think the Naked 2 Basics palette is so underrated. So if you're not familiar with these palettes, they are just basically smaller versions of the larger Naked palettes. Either way, I think these should have gotten so much more credit because this is a companion palette that I travel with all the time. For example, my Jeffree Star Mini Breaker palette, it has a lot of fun colors in it, but it doesn't have the nice transition colors that I normally like to put in my crease. That's when this puppy comes into play. This has all of my transition colors. It has cool tones, it has warm tones, it can deepen up a crease if I need it, it has a highlighter if a palette doesn't have one, like this one doesn't. So I love having this with me anytime I travel because there are just some of those palettes that don't have transition colors or don't have like brow bone colors, so to have something like this I think is genius, and I don't think these got enough hype for it. Now the reason I like the Naked Basics 2 rather than the 1 is because in the first one there's like 3 light shades and like 2 extremely dark shades. I feel like the 2 makes more sense. You have that ray of transition colors, and then you have a couple brow bone, one being matte, one having shimmer, and then you have one very deep one that you could eyeline with it, or you could deepen up a crease. You could just do a lot more with this than the first one, in my opinion. For this next one, it's not technically the product that I'm mad at, it's more of the packaging that I don't like, because the products themselves I absolutely adore and I would buy them more often if it wasn't for this packaging. And that is regarding all of the Benefit box products. So their blushers, their highlights, and their bronzer here. I despise this packaging. Kudos to them when they first started doing it. It looked cool, it brought new customers in, and it was just something new on the market. Either way, I don't like it. It's very finicky, first off. Like when you go to close it, half the time I feel like these like corners go in and close in on the bronzer or blush or whatever you have, and then you'll end up getting, like, if you can see, I have these 2 little indentations because that's where the corners just constantly keep digging into the product. And then to top it all off, when I try to put in, especially for a bronzer, my bronzer brush is massive. So it is like you're ruining your brush to get it into this little small pan because of how high these edges are. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Maybe I'm the only one that has this problem, but these really bug the crap out of me. I feel like, yes, they've had their time and they were iconic for a minute, but I really wish they came out with a different alternative so people could use the product without getting extremely upset about it. That's it. Next, I want to talk about the Stila liquid eyeshadows. Love them. They're great. Bomb. It was, what, 2 years ago, a year ago, they came out with their Shade Mystery, I don't know, it was spelled weird, Shade Mystique, I don't know. I'm terrible. I should have done more research. I'll pop some pictures up. But they came out with this line, and first off, these look beautiful in the packaging, but they got so much hate. And for some of the colors I can understand, but when I had one myself and when I swatched the other ones, I really enjoyed these. I thought they were really cool. They caught my eye. They were really innovative. And I think they worked well if you knew what you were getting. Obviously, it was supposed to be a marbled eyeshadow, so every single swatch wasn't going to be the same. That's just kind of what you're bargaining for. What I did notice about this line was the darker shades didn't work as well as the lighter shades. I really personally enjoyed the lighter shades a lot more than I enjoyed the darker shades. I think they transferred well, and even if they did swatch differently every single time because it is that mixture, it still looked cohesive. When in the darker shades, when you have a dark and a light shade kind of combining, it kind of got muddy and it looked a little off-putting. So I think these could have been a bigger hit had they only done more of a topper line and just very light, pretty fairy dust shades. Because I really did like this line and I thought they were pretty, and I was really upset when they got so much hate. But not too upset because that meant they all went on sale and I got to buy them, so. The next unpopular opinion I would have would be about Tarte Shape Tape. Now, I mean, everybody and their mother knows about Shape Tape. It's everybody's holy grail, apparently. I've tried it twice, I've bought it twice, I've used it, I liked it, it was great, okay, but I will never repurchase it again because I still think that Maybelline Age Rewind Instant Eraser, whatever this is called, is so much better. Okay, don't get me wrong, I love Shape Tape. I think it's a great concealer, and if you want to pay for it, go right ahead. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to spend the same amount of money for something that does the exact same thing, and that is this, the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. Does the exact same thing. I actually find that I like this a little bit more only because it's not as thick, and it just makes my under eyes look a lot better than the Shape Tape, in my opinion. Moving on. Last but not least, I want to talk about powdery eyeshadows. You know, the ones that kick up a lot of dust either in the pan or when you place them on the lid and there's a bunch of fallout. I feel like those can sometimes get a really bad rap, and I wish they didn't because there are some, okay, granted, there are the few that do kick up a lot of dust and they don't have much payoff at all, but there are reasons that some may be that powdery, and it's because of the formula itself and because it's so soft. For example, this is my Clarity Cosmetics palette, and this is an indie brand, and I absolutely love this brand's eyeshadow formula. It is probably the softest eyeshadow formula I have ever touched or ever handled in my life, but it kicks up a lot of product. So if I go in with a brush and I just go into, let's say, Spicy here, like, do you see how much product that kicks off? Like, it's quite a bit. Like, it's a lot. But I don't think that diminishes from the product at all because it is so soft and so pigmented that just a little tiny dab will do ya, and it's great, and it will completely coat your eyes with that amount of product. So I think I would like to see a switch from people looking at powdery or dusty eyeshadows and thinking, oh, those are... No, it's just some eyeshadows can be softer than others. So that's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming. So those were some of my unpopular makeup opinions. If you have any of your own, I would love to hear them. Please put them down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The link will be down below in the description box. I post new videos every Thursday around 7 p.m., so I hope to see you guys next Thursday. Bye!